So, chat, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, there was a recent video that was put out by a YouTuber known as H Bomber Guy, who admittedly, I'm probably going to lose some YouTuber cred here. But I had never watched an H Bomber Guy video before. I had always heard that they were a fantastic content creator. I just never watched them before. But their recent video about plagiarism in the YouTube community really made waves. And so I watched the video and I thought it was fantastic. Since then, I've been trying my best to binge watch more H Bomber Guy. And I got to say, I really love their stuff. They've definitely become one of my new favorite creators for sure. But in any case, one of the people that got called out significantly, excuse me, you have to excuse me if you hear like a cough drop bouncing around in my mouth. I'm still recovering from a cold. Okay, so if I clear my throat a little bit, if you hear like a cough drop sort of bouncing around in my mouth and stuff like that, that would be the reason why. I'm doing my best to work through the cold. But in any case, one of the creators that was called out pretty significantly for serial instances of plagiarism was James Somerton, who again is another creator I had never heard of before prior to this controversy. But apparently they're a really popular content creator who did video essays in the LGBTQ plus community. And yeah, they have pretty much had their name dragged through the mud, and some would say rightfully so, for excessive amounts of plagiarism, okay? And so they put out a video because essentially what happened after this came out, they closed their Patreon, they had removed all their videos from their channel, they basically left social media altogether. But they put out a video on their channel called I'm Sorry. We were going to go ahead and react to this video, but I regret to inform you that, it's lucky for me. I loaded this page up yesterday. I regret to inform you that the video is no longer available. They have deleted the video. Oh, shit! Oh, shit. It has not been received very well, to say the least. Okay. To say the least, but, good thing you guys are following Tippy, because Tippy downloaded a copy of the video.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I did get myself a copy of the video. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at the video. We're going to give our thoughts as we go along. So without further ado,
play that shit.
Here we go. And I have not pre-watched this. I have not pre-watched this. So we're going to watch this together for the first time. So here we go.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry for taking so long to make this video or to say anything. I'm in the hospital. I've been in the hospital for a little over a week. I tried to do something really stupid.
Okay. Are they alluding to self-harm here? Okay. Here's the thing. Okay. I'm never going to question whether somebody is being sincere when they're talking about self-harm. Okay. I'm never, ever going to question that. I could imagine that they probably went through a lot of mental anguish when they realized that their career was burning to the ground. Okay. I'm never going to question the legitimacy of somebody's mental health. Okay. I've made that mistake before, admittedly, and I'll never make that mistake again. Having said that, I can be, I can have a level of empathy for someone who's having mental health issues to the point that, they, engage in that kind of act. Having said that, when you are creating a video called I'm Sorry, where you're supposed to be apologizing for your bad deeds, in this case, acts of plagiarism, where you literally stole other people's work for profit. Whether your claims of, self-harm are legitimate or not, that is not a good way to open up an apology video. Okay. If he's being sincere here in that he engaged in acts of self-harm, then I feel bad for him for that. But having said that, this is not a good way. This is not a good way to start an apology video. This comes off as, it comes off as very manipulative. Feel bad for me because this horrible thing happened to me. And yeah, you can have compassion for them in that regard. But when you're trying to apologize to people for your wrongdoing, whether it's legitimate or not, this is not a good way to start an apology. So we are already off to a pretty bad start.
I'm really only here now because before I did it, I called my dad to talk to him one more
Yeah, so they were alluding to self-harm. Okay.
time, and he figured out something was wrong and called paramedics or 911 or... They got here, and I woke up in the hospital, and yeah, anyway, I'm not trying to make this a sob story. I'm just trying to explain.
I mean, whether he's being genuine or not, again, in regards to the self-harm stuff, I know he's saying he's not trying to make this a sob story, but that's the impression it's going to give people when you start a video that's meant to be an apology and you start it with, I self-harmed and I just got out of the hospital from self-harming. That's the impression people are naturally going to get, is this is a feel bad for me, have sympathy for me type situation. And that is not how you should be. That is not how you should be starting an apology video under any circumstances. Okay. Like as I mentioned before, it comes off as very manipulative. Okay. Very, very manipulative.
Why I've been so quiet. I had a friend from back home, checking my emails and stuff. And yeah. But anyway, I want to say that I'm really, really sorry. Really, really sorry. For the stuff in the videos, not crediting people and
not crediting people. I mean, that's really dumbing down the severity of what he did here. Okay. This doesn't come down to just not crediting people. You literally stole other people's work, damn near word for word. In some cases, literally word for word. Stole other people's words and used them in your own content for profit. Like, I have seen creators in the past be exposed for plagiarism. Okay, this is something that's happened quite a few times in the YouTube sphere, the content creator sphere. And I don't think I've ever seen instances of plagiarism as egregious as with James Somerton. You know, usually when somebody's plagiarizing stuff, they actually put in a little bit of effort to try and mask their plagiarism. And that's just not what happened here with James Somerton. I mean, they basically took somebody else's like news articles or, you know, essays or whatever, copied that shit, pasted it, and maybe changed a few words here and there. Like I remember with the Philip Mewson situation, that was the IGN, you know, creator who had ripped off, you know, somebody's review of the game Dead Cells. What they did is, you know, they changed some words, they tried to rearrange some of the sections and different like places and stuff like that to really try and make it mask their plagiarism. Okay, it didn't work, obviously, but they put in some effort to try and mask the plagiarism. This was so blatant, so insanely blatant. Like, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how much stuff they stole from other people.
a lot of videos, you know,
But my point is dumbing it down to just, oh, I didn't credit people. Like, that is so not only are we starting off very manipulative, bringing up the self-harm. And again, you know, if he's being serious and genuine here with his claims of self-harm, you know, I have empathy for that. Okay. Sometimes when it feels like the world's crashing down around you, you know, sometimes you just feel like you've lost all hope. Okay. And you may resort to those kind of things. So I could have empathy for that. But having said that, I can't repeat this enough. Starting an apology video where you're supposed to be apologizing for literally stealing other people's work for profit, starting it by talking about how you engage in acts of self-harm, I'm sorry, it really truly just does come off as very, very manipulative.
It did the opening titles thing.
By the way, hello, A Pillow and Lady Decade. Good to see you in chat.
Put like this is based on X's this person's research or this person's book, but I know now that wasn't enough. That wasn't okay. And then there were a lot of
I mean, come on. You knew what you were doing was wrong. There's no way in hell that you did not know that what you were doing was wrong. To the degree to which you did it, like you knew what you were doing. Okay. I understand, like, sometimes when a new content creator first gets into the space and they're first learning how to make content of their own, you know, they might unintentionally use something that's copyrighted, or they might unintentionally plagiarize something because they're just getting a feel for the process, right? And they're, as they go along, they're kind of learning the rules as they go along. If you've ever become a content creator, I think, you know, one in the chat, if any content creator who happens to be in the chat can agree with this, when you're first getting started, you're kind of learning the rules of the land as you go along, right? You might put copyrighted music in one of your videos and you realize, oh, I can't do that. Okay, I won't do that for future videos. You might accidentally plagiarize somebody's work and, oh, you know what? I can't do it that way. Okay, fine. I won't do that moving forward. It's one thing if you're new to the space and you're just getting started. James Somerton has been at this for a long time. They had plenty of time to learn that was unacceptable behavior and not engage in that behavior. But their entire career was based on a lie. Their entire career was based on stealing other people's work. So I'm sorry, you can't give us this sob story of, oh, well, I didn't know that wasn't okay. You knew better. Be honest with us. You knew better.
times that there were a lot of times that stuff just got put in and there was no attempt at crediting anybody.
So that's the angle. That's the angle. Downplay it from, try to take it away from, I stole other people's work, and just kind of downplay it to, I didn't credit people. That's the angle here. Oh my God. It's no wonder they took this video down. And it's no wonder this has been so poorly received, because it's just so bad faith. On so many levels, it's so fucking bad faith. Hey, Heavy Gretel, how you doing?
And I'm really, really sorry.
I'm sorry. I just, you know, we're only 3.5 minutes in, and I gotta call their apology bullshit already. You know, normally I'm pretty good about listening to someone's apology, actually hearing what they have to say before I decide for myself if it's genuine or not. But I'm sorry, if you start early on by being blatantly dishonest about what it is you're being accused of, and then you give your, I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. You're not being accused of not crediting people. You're being accused of stealing. You're being accused of stealing from other people and profiting off of other people's work. Plagiarism. Okay? Plagiarism. That's what you're being accused of. I cannot believe that your apology is genuine if you can't even be truthful about what it is you're being accused of. This is like when, if you've ever seen somebody, and I want to be clear, okay? I'm not saying that this is what, James Somerton is being accused of. This is just an example. You know, as somebody who's covered, drama or, content creators being exposed for awful things over the years. I've seen several different examples of people being accused of various different things. If you've ever seen somebody be accused of something very serious, like, sexual assault, or, preying on children, or if you've ever seen somebody be accused of, scamming their fans, or, something extremely, extremely serious, and the allegation happens, like, let's say on Twitter, okay? A lot of people don't realize that a lot of content creators, the bulk of their audience doesn't follow them on other social media platforms. They follow them on the platform where they watch their content, and that's it. Very, very few, a very small percentage of the audience will follow you on other social media platforms like Twitter, for example. And so, like, sometimes when an allegation happens on Twitter, your audience will be none the wiser. And so you'll often see a content creator will put out like an apology video for something very serious, but they don't actually say what it is they're being accused of, because their audience is none the wiser. Their audience doesn't know what's going on. Half the time, even if your audience just watches you on YouTube, your audience may not even see other videos, exposing you for your horrible deeds, right? And so if you give out an apology, your audience will look at that like, oh, they did something wrong and they're apologizing for it. That's good, right? Meanwhile, you're not actually being honest about what it is you're being exposed for, or what it is you're being accused of. It's a very deceptive practice, and it's something I've seen many, many times over the years when a content creator gets outed for something very horrible.
And I'm not sorry that I got caught. I'm sorry for ever doing it. I honestly,
I don't buy that, because hadn't they been called out for the theft before? If I remember correctly, because it's been a while since I watched the H-Bomber guy video, so lend me a hand here in chat if you guys remember. Hadn't they been called out for plagiarism before? Because I feel like if you weren't sorry that you got caught, you were sorry that it even happened, then you would have been sorry for it and discontinued it when you initially got called out for it. Everybody in the chat is saying yes, a number of times they have been called out for it. So that's bullshit. I'm sorry, that's just fucking you feel bad that you got caught. That's all this is. You feel bad you got caught. If you had never, ever, ever got called out for this, or gotten caught, or at least gotten called out in such a spectacular way like you were with H-Bomber guy, you probably would have continued to do this shit. 100%.
Didn't realize that I was hurting people. And now that I know that I was hurting people.
How could you not know that you're hurting people? I think anybody with even the slightest bit of moral convictions can look at a situation like this, where somebody is profiting off of other people's work. You're literally taking something from someone else and you are profiting off of somebody else's work. It's theft. And even someone with, like I said, the slightest bit of moral conviction could look at a situation like that and be like, yeah, this is going to hurt the people that I'm taking from. Especially when you consider how many of the people he stole from that didn't receive a penny for the work that he stole. Some of the people he stole from were people writing like, essays for work in university, or like, just think pieces where they were, writing it just for free as part of a think piece. Like, so many things they stole from. The people who originally created those works didn't earn a cent. Meanwhile, this guy is earning thousands and thousands of dollars off of YouTube ad revenue, Patreon support, various other different means that his audience was supporting him, sponsorships. How can you even suggest that you didn't realize you were hurting people? This is just so dishonest.
Well, just really sorry.
You're sorry you got caught. You're sorry you got caught. Victor in the chat says one of the people he stole from was one of his patrons, and she wrote the article for exposure in hopes of getting more gigs from the publisher. That's true. Can you imagine how much that must have sucked? A content creator that you look up to and you like their content so much that you financially support their work, and little did you know you were financially supporting them and they were stealing from you. I can imagine that hurt a lot.
I lost my best friend because of this. Nick and I had been best friends since 2011 or 12.
I think he like fucked. So he's talking about Nick, the editor, right? The guy who supposedly wrote for him. If you look at the H Bomber Guy video, it looks like he was intentionally kind of setting up Nick as the fall guy. You look at any responses to him in the H Bomber Guy video where he's talking about, you know, Nick is the one who writes my scripts and stuff like that. There's nothing that's plagiarized because Nick does all the writing. He was like intentionally setting up Nick for failure. So if the ball ever dropped one day, he could just point to Nick and say, it's Nick's fault. Nick was the one that was writing for me, right? Which, by the way, we have a response from Nick as well. But isn't that kind of shitty? That just seems to suggest even more that what he knew what he was doing was wrong, because he was just like, oh, you know, Nick's my writer. You know, Nick's the one that does all the writing for me, you know? So again, that one day when the shoe dropped, he could just say, oh, it was Nick's fault, you know? Jesus.
We'd been friends online, and then he lived in Ottawa, and I moved to Ottawa so that we could be like friends in person. And then we moved back to, I moved back to Nova Scotia, and Nick came with me, and then we eventually moved to the Toronto area, and we lived together for 7 years.
Tipster, why do you have a script? Why do I have a script? I'm a live streamer. I never script anything. At most, for my content, I just take like bullet point notes, but very rarely do I ever script anything. It's all off the cuff live.
8 years?
So you can never accuse me of plagiarism, because I literally don't write anything. I just say whatever, I speak whatever's on my mind in the moment.
We lived together for a really long time. And, he hasn't spoken to me since this happened.
Thanks for the money, you fucking simp.
Thank you.
Mr. Jabers donated $5. He lacks the mental wherewithal to handle this appropriately. He needs to learn to accept fault and still be able to live with himself and do better.
Thank you very much for the super chat. I do appreciate it. And yeah, that's a good point, honestly. I don't think a situation like this is like 100% unsalvageable. I think if I found myself in a position like this, which I wouldn't find myself in a position like this, but let's say I had, I think the move is all the previous content you worked on up to this point, moving forward, is gone. Like you just cannot keep that content hosted on your channel. It's tainted. Okay. But if you want to move forward, making original content that you do not steal from other people moving forward, I think you can rebuild. You know, it's going to take a while to rebuild people's trust, but it's not impossible. But like if he were to come back tomorrow and he unprivates all his old videos, it's not happening, because at that point you're still profiting off of stolen goods, and nobody's going to ever allow you to do that, to continue to do that.
Sorry, I said I wasn't going to make this a sob story. I should have got some Kleenex.
I see some people saying that they don't see tears, and like, you know, normally, like, I think it's kind of cringe to kind of like, where's the tears? But I gotta be honest, I don't see any tears.
But again, I'm really, really, really sorry for the things that I did in the videos. Copying people's work and not crediting them properly or at all.
Again, it's really he's really trying to downplay it to I didn't credit people. That's not what you're being accused of. That's part of it. That's a very, very small part of it. But that's not the bulk of it. You stole. You were a thief who stole from people. You can't say you're sorry and not openly admit to what you're sorry for. He's being dishonest. This is so bad. Oh my God. I honestly, I would 100% see. I 100% see why he deleted this apology, because it's dog shit. The fact that he thought after everything he was exposed for that his audience would fall for this dishonest bullshit, that in itself is fucking cope.
You are coping
That is such a cope. You think that you could just come back with some half-ass fucking apology and be like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't credit the people I fucking stole from. No, it doesn't work that way. You're a fucking thief. You profited off of other people's stolen shit. This is so dumb. This is the biggest cope I've seen in a while.
I fucking hate everyone.
I want to apologize.
This whole apology video is just cope.
For the misinformation and just outright lies that ended up in the videos. I can...
Heavy Gretel in the chat says, I mean, we all assumed that the stuff he stole was his own content. Obviously, he thinks we're all dumbasses. Maybe. I guess so. I guess that's maybe his angle. If they were dumb enough to believe that was my original work, maybe they're dumb enough to believe my dog shit apology. Maybe you're onto something. I don't know.
I honestly say that I never intended for any of that stuff to be in the videos. In most cases, I didn't write it, but I should have.
Oh my God. He's still trying to throw Nick under the bus. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's what that is. You know, he's not saying it, but that's what that is. I have to replay that part. Listen to that shit.
I honestly say that I never intended for any of that stuff to be in the videos. In most cases, I didn't write it, but I should have.
He's still trying to. Oh my God. If there's anyone that I feel bad for in this situation, obviously I feel bad for the people he stole from. I feel so bad for Nick right now, because he literally, even after everything, he's still trying to throw Nick under the bus. That is so... What a piece of shit. I'm very comfortable saying it. This guy's a piece of shit. Okay? Literally a piece of shit. He's going to use Nick as an excuse when it comes to asexuals too. Oh God.
You know, it was my face on the channel. It was my name on the channel. I should have been... I should have been more diligent about fact checking and stuff, because there was a lot of really stupid shit in there. It's just so easy to check, and I just never did. I just took it for granted.
He's literally dancing around the issue at hand here. Okay, so like, you know, there's these little allegations of like, you know, we got not crediting people here. We got not fact checking to make sure he's sharing accurate information. We got like the misogyny here. And we got like, you know, all these other little things that he was accused of throughout the course of the H Bomber Guy video. And, you know, those are surrounding the big allegation, which is plagiarism, theft. You stole from other people and you profited by stealing other people's work. So this big allegation right in the middle, surrounded by all the little things. And he's literally dancing around the big allegation, literally like, you know, picking out the little things that he can easily like explain away and like, oh yeah, you know, should have credited people, should have fact checked. Why are you not addressing the core allegation here, which is that you're a fucking thief? Why?
I want to thank H Bomber Guy and his team for setting up the fund. To make some money available for the authors that were wronged.
Yeah, thank the guy, thank the other guy who's cleaning up your fucking mess, right? I don't remember the details of that. Was H Bomber Guy like accepting or it was the AdSense from the video. He was giving some of the AdSense to the people that he stole from or whatever. How about this, okay? If you really want to make it right, instead of thanking another content creator for cleaning up your fucking mess, how about you contribute some of the money that you've earned from the stolen content over the years? How about you contribute some of that money to the fund? Huh? How about you give up some of your not so hard-earned fucking money so that those creators can get, a slice of the pie, from the stolen fucking stuff you took from them, right? I wouldn't go as far as, I see Awa saying all the ad revenue. Understandably, the guy's got to eat, okay? So I wouldn't go as far as to say he has to give up all of it. But for fuck's sakes, okay, how are you going to sit here apologizing and be like, oh yeah, and H Bomber Guy, thank you for cleaning up my fucking mess,
Lost _ 404 join the Creamer Nation.
Thank you for that Twitch Prime. I do appreciate it. But how are you going to thank somebody else for cleaning up your fucking mess? Contribute some of the profits. Contribute some of your profits to help clean up the mess that you created, right? If you really, truly care, then how about that?
And the journalists and writers and
it's mind-boggling that he thought this was a good apology. I know, I have seen some bad apologies over the years, but this is a pretty bad one. I don't think anything will ever top Colleen Ballinger's Toxic Gossip Train. That one's pretty fucking bad. But this one gets pretty close. It gets pretty close.
I want to help somehow. I don't know how. I've seen a lot of people online saying how much money I apparently make, and they're way overestimating. Beyond the fact that Nick and I split everything 50-50, they're still way overestimating how much money I make. The Toronto area is expensive, so there's not really any kind of savings. I'm moving home really soon.
He should just say, I did what I did. I'm sorry. I will try to compensate the people I stole from. I mean, that's a pretty good start. I don't simply think that saying I did what I did is enough, though. I think he actually has to speak the words, because I feel like if you're genuine with an apology about something, in the past, for example, I'm human. There's been times when I've gotten stories wrong, okay? And I'm usually pretty good about correcting the record if I get a story wrong. If I get a story wrong, I'll take down the video, I'll put up another video talking about the situation. This is what I got wrong. These are the details I got wrong. I'm sorry. I just wanted to take a moment to correct the record. It means a lot more. It's a lot more meaningful when you issue an apology. And as part of the apology, you state exactly what you did wrong. I fucked up this story, and here's how I fucked up this story, and I'm sorry for that. In this case, I stole from people, and I shouldn't have done that, but this is what I did, and I'm genuinely sorry. Okay? If you're not willing to actually speak the words of what it is that you did, I'm sorry. Your apology is bullshit. At that point, your apology is literal fucking bullshit. It's worthless. If you can't actually tell people what it is you're apologizing for, your apology is meaningless.
Without Nick, there's nothing for me here. And
especially in this case, when you're dancing around the main allegation that you've been accused of, your apology is meaningless. Your apology is worth no more than the shit stain on the toilet paper when I wipe my fucking ass.
Like I said, it's really expensive. And so I want to thank them for setting up that fund, and I want to help somehow. The only thing I can think of right now is to make most of the videos public again.
Oh my God. You know, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. Let's hear him out. Let's hear what he has to say.
Membership. Fucking simp.
Thank you very much. I
Jesse
appreciate that.
Romana joined the Kuma Nation.
Thank you.
And every month I can send the ad revenue from all of the past videos. Because there were plenty that didn't have any uncredited stuff in them.
Oh, that's such a hollow. It's so hollow to even suggest that. Okay, because the thing is, like, if you know anything about YouTube, okay, unless you've got a really popular video that people go to over and over and over again and rewatch it, very rarely does a video that you upload to YouTube get a decent amount of reviews as time or views rather as time goes on. Typically, you get the bulk of your views right when the video releases, usually the first day or two, and then anything after that, you're getting little trickle views. Okay, so for him to suggest that he can make things right by making those videos public again, and I'll give a portion of the profits to the people I stole from. We're talking about pennies here. Maybe a few dollars every month, okay? You've already made your money on those videos through people's Patreon contributions, through channel memberships. I don't know if he does channel memberships, but if he does channel memberships, through that, through people watching the content, when it first came out, you've already made your fucking money. Okay, so for you to suggest, okay, I'll make the videos public again and I'll give a percentage of the money to the people I stole from, you're not giving them shit. You're giving them hardly anything at that point. Okay, that is just that's a slap in the face. Hey, I'm really sorry I stole from you. I already made my money. I'm already well off, but here's a few pennies that I'm going to toss your way like you're a fucking bum on the street and I'm giving you my spare pocket change. What an asshole. As Mo Love in the chat says, what a Weasley little liar.
What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
But I can make them public again, and then every month I can send the AdSense to either I can send it to H Bomber Guy's team that they can add to the fund, or
Beta!
I can start a fund myself. And every month I can publicly say how much money was made on the AdSense and show it. And
I feel like a creator your size probably has a decent amount of money in the bank. And like I said, I don't expect him to give all the money. I mean, at the end of the day, guys got to eat. But like, if he can give a decent contribution of the money that he's made over the year, let's say, I'll just throw a random number out there. Okay, so H Bomber Guy's trying to collect some funds that he can use to give back to the people that he stole from. Okay, let's say, James Somerton reaches out to H Bomber Guy and says, hey, I think that what you're doing is a good thing, and I legitimately, feel bad for what I've done all these years. Here's 10 grand to put into the pot. Okay. I'm just pulling a random number out. But here's $10,000 to add to the pot to give to the people that I stole from. I think that that's a good faith effort to show that, like, yeah, I actually do feel bad for what I did. Why not do something like that? But this, like, offering people a pittance of, like, oh, I'll give you the little scraps of, like, the little table scraps of revenue that these videos earn moving forward. Like, no, that's not it. This ain't it, Chief. Like, come on.
That to the writers and stuff every month. I don't know what the system for that would be, but I'd be more than happy to do that. And, some of the videos, like the killing stalking video, brought in like a pretty decent amount of money every month, so that would be helpful, I think. I also put it either in the description or the pinned comment. the names of the authors, so that anyone watching the video knows where all of the information came from, that it wasn't me.
He's trying to find any justification to put the old videos back up. And I don't think there is any justification for putting the old videos back up. There's no way. I don't think that's possible, because you would continue to profit off of people's stolen work. I'm sorry, that's not it. If you really truly want to do the right thing moving forward, those videos got to go away and you have to start fresh.
Going out doing journalism. I never thought anyone thought that I was doing like journalism and stuff. And I don't think anyone did. But the people who actually were doing it should have been given the credit that they deserved. They did the hard work. All I did was
wait. Someone's LaFlay Art in the chat says 10K has to come from somewhere, from the Patreon that he shut down, then silently reactivated and has shut down again. He brought the Patreon back? He actually had the nerve to bring the Patreon back? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! No fucking way. No fucking way. Oh, wow. So that showed that he just he probably thought he could go away for a while, put out this half-ass apology, and people would just accept his apology. And then he could put up all the videos again, reactivate the Patreon, just continue on nothing happened. Basically take the Illuminati approach. I'll just continue working as if nothing happened. I'll just move on. That is so shitty. Oh my God, that is so shitty. You know what sucks is when you deactivate a Patreon the way he did, the moment you bring the Patreon back, all your old patrons instantly, they get charged for the next month, and then you get all that revenue, oh my God, that's so scummy. That's so fucking scummy. So the patrons don't even got a chance to deactivate before they're charged again.
They did the hard work and they deserve.
Because when was it that he deactivated before? It was sometime before the start of this month, right? And so he would come back after the start of December, and if I remember correctly how Patreon works, all his patrons would be billed for this month.
The credit.
Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I'm pretty certain, based on when I used to have a Patreon, I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Sorry about that. Phone stopped recording. But yes, they deserved credit, and when it was something like the recent history of Hollywood videos, right there in the opening credits, I put Vito Russo's name, that it was adapted from his book, The Celluloid Closet.
People are saying some things about me that aren't quite true. Doesn't matter if it's true though, just as long as it's entertaining.
Same thing went for the Gay Panic video and the Gay Holocaust video. The Gay Holocaust video was adapted from 2 books, and the Gay Panic video was adapted from a lot of
Chugging down the tracks of misinformation, the toxic gossip train. You got a one-way ticket to manipulation station. Toxic gossip train. Tie me to the tracks and harass me for
but
my past.
I understand.
Rumors look like facts if you don't mind the gaps. I won't survive in the crash,
works.
but hey, at least you're having fun.
Now, I understand that. I get it.
Hi everyone.
At least her dog shit response was fucking entertaining.
And I want to do better. I know a lot of people hate me.
Okay, I have to show you guys a meme. I have to show you guys a meme that friend of the channel Mango posted on Twitter. I can't keep looking at his hairdo without seeing this fucking meme. Fuck you, Mango, for making this so funny. Oh my god. I have to show you guys this fucking meme because it's so true. It's so fucking true. Where is this? No, don't tell me they deleted the meme. Did they delete the meme? Mango, no. Oh, here's the meme. Oh my god. Bro got that Nicktoon Kids haircut. It's so fucking true. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. It's so fucking true. Shout out to Mango. We love Mango around here.
No. Because I did bad shit. But I want to try and do better. At some point, I'd like to make videos again. I'd like to do videos that are fully sourced, where I will put a link to the script where you can find...
Again, they're literally just dumbing this down to I didn't source people. Either they think people are stupid and they'll buy that, or they're so stupid they didn't understand what they were being accused of. I don't know which one it is. It could be either one, honestly.
And all of the sources, so that everyone is properly given the credit that they deserve.
He actually thinks he can still make videos. I think that there is a way, like there is a way he could have come away from this, where like he could have been able to still make videos. I think I'm going to try to line it up as best as I could. I think moving forward, the old videos, they got to go away. Okay, you cannot bring back the old videos. They're tainted. You can't bring back the old videos. You come out with a proper apology where you actually address what you're being accused of. You find some way to compensate the people that you stole from. You might not be able to compensate everyone. It's hard to get in contact with everyone, but you make a good faith effort to compensate as many people as you could that you stole from. Even if it's a small thing, like, here's a check for a few $1,000s to this person, that person, etc. I'm really sorry. I won't do that again. And then moving forward, you make videos from scratch by yourself. Okay, like you make it based off of your own hard work moving forward, but the old videos cannot come back. So there are ways, like I've seen people who have been exposed for scummy things like this, and they were able to address it correctly and come back. Okay, so there is a win condition in this situation for him. He's already fucked it up though. At this point, he has already fucked it up.
Any kind of research.
He fucked it up within the first few minutes of this fucking video.
Done.
Heavy Gravel in the chat says, but I don't think he's sorry that he stole from people. He's sorry he lost his job and he's desperate to keep his job. Oh, 100%. I absolutely agree with you. If he was genuine in his remorse, then he would not have addressed the situation like this. It would have been very, very different. You're absolutely correct. He's not sorry that he did what he did. He's sorry he got caught.
Credit for any B-roll that's used, whether it's like stock footage or movies or TV shows or video games or anything like that.
It's like I said, literally dancing around the core argument. Let me pick out these little tiny things, these little like add-on arguments that were made against me by H Bomber Guy and everyone else. Let's dance around the core issue and let's just tackle the little things that I can easily explain away. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
Have it all in there. I would like to become a really, really good example of giving proper credit to writers and journalists. And I know a lot of you watching this.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Aren't really gonna care, and you would rather I just disappear.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
But I would like to try to do better. I never, ever intended to hurt anybody. I never thought that's what I was doing. Before I went to the hospital, I read a lot of stuff.
Shut up, bitch!
From people who were really hurt. No, not just authors and stuff, but people who watched my videos who were hurt by stuff in them. People think that I hate ace people and women and bisexual people.
Oh, this must be what you guys were referring to. Okay, got it.
People and lesbians, and that's not true.
Wasn't he like in the process of like plagiarizing? Weren't there like instances of the plagiarism where he would deliberately like reword things in a way that would like shit talk ace people and women and like lesbians and shit like that? Like he literally like modified the plagiarism in a way that like intentionally took stabs at these kinds of people. Like, how can you, like, okay, the plagiarism was bad enough, but you're actually, the rare instances of changes that you made to the plagiarism were changes that took jabs at these kinds of people. And you want us to believe that you're not, you know, you're not, you know, sexist, or you're not exclusionary towards like other groups of LGBTQ. Come on. His only original content is shitting on women. God damn. Oh shit. God fucking damn.
Really, it's not.
And then a lot of the people he stole from was women too. So he clearly has like no respect for women whatsoever.
Not true. I'm sorry that stuff made it into videos that just shouldn't have been there. Misinformation and lies. I promise you.
He knows what he's doing. This isn't just like, you know, how like sometimes somebody will do an apology and they're just kind of like doing their apology kind of like off the cuff. And because they're doing their apology off the cuff, they're just like, you know, unintentionally forgetting to mention things. You know, those things happen sometimes where their apology is genuine, but some people will criticize it for not being genuine because they'll accidentally forget to mention something that they're responding to because they're just kind of off the cuff responding in the moment. Those things happen. But I'm sorry. We are 17 minutes, almost 17 minutes into this video, and not once has he even alluded to plagiarism. So I'm sorry, this isn't a mistake. This is intentional. He's intentionally avoiding addressing the core argument that's being made against him. What a piece of shit.
I did not write that stuff.
And again, I did listen to those words. I did not write that stuff. He's trying to throw his writer, Nick, under the bus again. That's deliberate, okay? That's what, the second time we've heard something like that before? I did not write that stuff. After what, months and months and potentially years of saying that Nick is his writer, he's still trying, after everything, he's still trying to throw Nick under the bus. I feel so bad for Nick. I genuinely feel so bad for Nick.
I should have been a lot more exacting when Nick and I would be editing scripts, but
going as far as to actually name Nick now. Actually naming Nick now.
I promise you that those are not, I don't think those things. I specifically want to apologize to asexual people who feel like I just completely delegitimized you. Nick being ace, I I know it's kind of like, no two gay people are exactly the same and no two ace people are exactly the same. But I kind of, when it came to that, I would just kind of run with Nick's judgment.
Okay, so he's using Nick as a shield for the ace comments. Oh God. Oh my God. This is so not only throwing Nick under the bus for he's the writer, but also throwing Nick under the bus for, well, Nick is ace and he didn't have any problem with anything that was in the scripts about ace people. So this is Nick's fault. What a piece of shit. What an actual piece of shit.
And his observations and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to throw Nick under the bus, which a bunch of people were saying that I was setting him up as doing, which is not true.
Can I play that part again?
Exactly the same, and no two ace people are exactly the same. But I kind of, when it came to that, I would just kind of run with Nick's judgment and his observations and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to throw Nick under the bus, which a bunch of people were saying that I was setting him up as doing, which is not true.
You know what that sounds like to me, chat? Do you know what that statement sounds like to me? That sounds like a little thing in my community we like to call cope.
You are coping and seething.
Hey Nick, let me throw you under the bus while telling my audience I'm not throwing you under the bus. What a sack of shit. What a real piece of fucking work.
Coping so hard.
Oh my God.
You dumb cunt.
I fucking hate everyone.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This whole thing, Nick and I were 50-50 partners. It wasn't, I hired him to have a scapegoat or something like that. I never hired Nick. Nick and I were roommates for years before I started doing YouTube videos. And then people started watching them. And I asked Nick if he wanted to help me write them. And he said yes, and we started splitting first the AdSense, and then the Patreon, and then the sponsorships. We just split everything. Nick was never...
Variety, the chat says he's telling on himself so hard. True. This is such a massive self-report. Such a huge self-report.
Supposed to be a fall guy. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have waited longer to do this.
Transgo Jade in the chat says, I'm really starting to hate James even more and more as he talks. I don't even know this guy, and I can't fucking stand him.
I fucking hate everyone.
Prior to this whole situation with the H Bomber guy video, I had never fucking heard of this guy before, but I think he's a sack of shit.
But yeah, I don't think those things. And I don't think Nick does either. I think it was just how fast we were writing stuff and how fast we were putting videos out.
I just can't help but laugh. He thinks we're stupid enough to believe any of this shit. Oh my God. He really thinks we're that fucking stupid.
What the fuck is happening?
It was too fast. And we weren't putting the care into them.
Congratulations,
that needed to be put into
you
them.
played yourself.
Oh my God. Patty in the chat says, when you write super fast, misogyny shit just comes out.
Oh shit!
Damn, true. So true, Queen. Oh my God.
I've seen a lot of people on social media and other YouTubers even lying about me, but
who's lying about you? Who?
What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
Who?
Other H bomber guy was not one of them. Just want to be clear about that. Except I was never setting Nick up to be a fall guy, and Telos was never a scam. It was never a grift or anything like that. I swear it was not. It is not.
I forgot about that part of it. His like indie like film studio or whatever, Telos, the one that kept saying that they were like working on movies and they've still yet to produce a single movie. Like, holy shit, I forgot about that part of it.
In the next couple of days, I'm going to send out a message to the Telos supporters on Indiegogo and explain the whole situation in more detail to them, because we were not super clear about everything that was going on.
Fucking simp.
Thank you.
Christopher Bilko joined the Kuma Nation.
Thank you very much for that membership. I do appreciate it.
Telos, and so I understand why it seems like we weren't doing anything, but we were. We were doing a lot of work on Telos. We just weren't talking about it because we made that initial first announcement for Final Girl, and that fell through, and I'll explain that to the message I send out to the supporters, which I'm sure will end up on Reddit or somewhere. After that, we didn't want to talk about it too much until we had something really concrete, and I'll explain all of that in that message.
Damn. Little Crow in the chat is spitting facts. Pressing Control V isn't work, James. True. Absolutely true.
Telos was and is not a grift. I was never going to take the money and run. None of the money that came in for Telos was ever going to be paying me or Nick. It was going to be paying queer actors and artists, musicians, things like that. And I know there's been lots of talk about budgets and all of this stuff, and people saying I'm really stupid for thinking that a movie could be made for that little money, but there are examples of it being done, and I actually do have a work ethic.
Yeah, your work ethic is steal other people's shit, and then when you get caught doing it, throw your fucking editor under the bus. Oh my God. If you called that work ethic, I guess.
Anyway, but yeah, anyway, I do want to keep making videos. I know a lot of you won't watch them, and that's fine. But I really liked making videos.
You act like a little bitch right now.
We ended up making a lot of videos we didn't want to make, because people were asking for them, and so there were a lot of videos we made that we didn't want to make, and I think those videos are very clear on which ones those were.
What does that have to do with anything? Making videos, nobody cares if you made videos you didn't want to make. They care that you stole from people. That's the issue. Oh, now it's all, you know what? I didn't think of it that way, but you're right. It's kind of blaming it on the audience, isn't? I didn't steal because I wanted to make those videos. I stole because you guys made me steal.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I didn't think of it that way, but holy shit. That's a good point. Let's throw my editor under the bus and my audience under the bus.
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined.
One of them never got officially released. It was released to patrons. Some patrons have shared it to other people before all the videos went private. And a lot of people hate the analysis that Nick and I did on it. And so maybe it's good that that never got properly released, because maybe it would have hurt people. And I don't want that.
Heavy Guard on the chat says at this point he's throwing the bus under the bus. Yeah, I do feel that way, doesn't it?
But I do want to make videos again sometime. I'd love to do like retrospectives on important gay movies. If you watch the channel Be Kind Rewind, they're an amazing channel that do a lot of retrospectives on older Hollywood movies, and I would love to do that for gay movies. A lot of gay movies, people my age and younger just have never heard of. Things like Torch Song Trilogy and Long Term Companion and stuff like that. Movies from the 70s and 80s and the 90s and things that were like really influential for gay cinema that no one...
Oh my god. Heavy Gretel in the chat is a fucking savage. She says, I want to steal this channel's ideas too. Oh shit! Oh shit! It's true though, right? It's fucking true. Like at this point, he's stolen so much shit that I don't think anybody will ever trust him to not like steal anybody else's shit ever again. I mean, if he ever does come back to making content, like fucking hell, people are going to scrutinize every little detail of his content moving forward. Like it's going to be hyper fucking analyzed like to the max.
And, you know, I'd like to talk about those, not just those movies, but how they got made and stuff like that. I would love to do something like that. I swear on my mother's...
Is it this apology was stolen as well? I mean, it seems like they're trying to like speak everything they're saying like off the top of the dome, but they're just like rambling for the most part. So I don't think their apology is stolen. If it came off as more of like a like the whole thing actually kind of like pieced together in a way that made sense, then maybe you can say that this was like a Chat GPT style like apology or something like that. But no, it's very clear with how much they're rambling that this is them. This is not stolen.
Brave.
So if you can give them credit for not stealing anything, they definitely didn't steal this dog shit apology.
I'm gonna have sex with your dog.
That soundboard clip made no fucking sense. But does anything really make sense at this point when it comes to this fucking apology? I don't think so.
That there will be no copying people. There will be no copy and pasting.
Oh, chat, here we are, 25 minutes, almost 26 minutes into the video, finally addressing the plagiarism. Well done. It took you this fucking long to even allude to plagiarism. My God, this is a 34-minute video, and it took them almost 26 minutes to finally address the plagiarism. Oh, wow. I think they were hoping that by now people would have just tuned out, you know?
Every source will be cited.
Oh, and right back to dumbing it down to citing sources. Got it.
In a document and on screen.
He never says the word plagiarism. That's why I said he alludes to the plagiarism.
Because I actually liked doing research.
I don't know if you could call copy and pasting research. I don't know if that's considered research.
I loved doing research, reading the books and articles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I loved doing research, chat. James loved doing research. He loved going on Google and searching a movie's name and the word gay to find like articles or books or anything that referenced those two things in the same article, and just highlighting everything, hitting Control C, going over to his script and hitting Control V.
The part of me that was lazy was the copy and paste part. Instead of just putting it into my words and just citing them properly and giving them credit, that's where the laziness came in. That was
Henry Guerrero says, I love consuming all the things I stole and took credit for. They were all really enjoyable to read. Heavy Gretel, you know what? I love you so fucking much. You are like one of the most based people in my chat. I love your level of sass, okay? Your level of sass and pettiness. Just for that, I'm giving you a fucking wrench because you are fucking amazeballs. Like, no cap.
I wasn't trying to be malicious. That was just laziness. And I promise, for anyone who does watch the video going forward, I promise that will never happen again. And I welcome the highest level of scrutiny on the new videos.
Oh, you don't have to welcome it. People are going to do it. You and your content are going to get A-logged like to hell and back moving forward. They are going to document everything you say in any videos you come out, everything you do in said videos, and if anything is stolen, you will get caught. If anybody knows exactly what I'm talking about, it's Philip Mewson, because it wasn't enough for them to catch him plagiarizing somebody's work when he did that IGN review of Dead Cells. They dug through his entire back catalog of work and found instance after instance after instance after instance after instance, basically every instance of him plagiarizing someone's work, they found it. Okay, so you don't have to welcome scrutiny. You are going to be scrutinized far more than you have up to this point. And if you ever fucking steal anything again, people will find it and you will be exposed again. Be ready, my friend. Be ready.
As for Patreon, I'm going to reactivate it.
So he did reactivate the Patreon. Oh, God. I didn't know that. That part I did not know. Until somebody in the chat mentioned it earlier, I had no clue of that.
Because I saw a lot of people on social media saying that I was probably going to reactivate it right on January 1st so that everyone could get a surprise billing and I could take the money and run. And no. First of all, that was never my plan.
Okay, so maybe I was misremembering how the billing shit works. Maybe it doesn't work that way. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said earlier, don't quote me on that. But even so, like reactivating the Patreon, that is not the move.
And I'm not going to do it. I'm going to reactivate it now so that anyone who wants to leave, which I imagine will be the vast majority, can leave and not have to be worried about being billed again in January. Yeah. So in closing,
Closing. You still got like 6-7 minutes left?
I am, again, incredibly sorry. And again, I'm not sorry because I was caught. I'm sorry because I honestly didn't know how much I was hurting people.
I don't buy that. I genuinely don't buy that.
And how much harm I was bringing to the community, because that's not ever what I intended. I wanted the channel to be a safe place. I spent so much time.
So much of this has been like self-reporting. I'm not sorry I got caught. I'm sorry I hurt people. Meanwhile, he's sorry he got caught. I'm not trying to throw Nick under the bus. Meanwhile, he's throwing Nick under the bus. Like, so much of this video is literally just self-reporting. And of course, cope.
Deleting comments that were hateful. I've recently found out that I wasn't being notified about that. I wasn't.
My 7-year-old knows you don't steal. Exactly. This is like pretty common. Like, this is a pretty common thing that pretty much anyone can understand. Stealing is bad. Stealing hurts people. So how can you even remotely make the argument that you didn't know you were hurting anyone when you were literally stealing from them?
Seeing comments that were in replies to other comments, so there were plenty of hateful comments in the comment section that I wasn't seeing that were plenty hateful, and I didn't know that. But I wanted the channel to be a safe place, and it ended up not being a safe place. And for the misinformation, that kind of falls into two categories. One, I did the wrong research into historical things, and other things, they're not what I wrote. Again, thank you to H Bomber Guy and his team for making the fund for the writers.
Again, thanking somebody else for cleaning up your mess.
I'd like to try to contribute to that somehow. So
you should. You should.
If it's okay to make the videos public and send all of the public again, and send all, it won't be all the videos because some of them have to be taken down because sponsors wanted them.
No. I don't think you can do that.
Down.
I don't think you can do that.
But I can put the videos back up.
Nope.
With the sources properly.
No.
Put in either.
No.
I guess for the videos.
Absolutely not. You already profited off of stealing from people. No.
I could, actually put sources like in the videos.
The fact that he thinks that that's an option. No, it's just not. You're fucking insane, bro.
Which would be good. For the other ones that would just be made live again, I could put them in a pinned comment, because I think people read pinned comments more than they read the
Wendy Nerd in the chest says, according to Gita Jackson, I'm probably butchering that name, my apologies, he has not reached out to the people he stole from. According to H-Bomb staff, he has not reached out to them. How am I not surprised? How am I genuinely not surprised?
Descriptions like disappear in a lot of places. Something like that, something so that I can try, and it won't make up for what I did, but it's just something. sorry. I hurt a lot of people that I really respect, and that
You clearly didn't respect them because you just stole their shit. You don't steal from people if you respect them.
Nick, if you're watching this, you're probably...
David Hinkle in the chat says if he makes those videos public again, that will make it so much worse for him. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely. Like, the fact that he thinks that that's even an option, it just blows my fucking mind. He will get fucking reamed if he tries to make the old videos public again.
Probably not, but I want you to know I miss you. And, yeah, I want to do better. I want to do better. I want to prove that I can do better. I don't expect anyone to just give me the benefit of the doubt. But I want to show that I can do better. So I hope you'll let me do that.
Mm-hmm. Little Crow in the chat says, this is giving me the same energy as a douchey high school boyfriend that cheated on you and is somehow the one sobbing at you, begging you to take them back. Yeah, it do be like that. It do have that same energy.
You know I only tell the truth.
Again, I'm really sorry.
What a fucking Weasley
I'm
little
sorry of
liar,
the things I
dude.
did. I'm sorry that I disappointed you. I promise, going forward, I will do better. Thanks for watching. And, I'm really sorry.
Jesus. That was such an awful fucking video. I'm so glad it's fucking over. So glad it's over. Does anybody know if that video was monetized when he uploaded that? Because I didn't get a chance to check that before he deleted it. But does anybody know if the video was monetized? Let me know in the chat because I'm not 100% certain on that. Anyways, they did delete the video, as I showed you guys before, and they put up the following statement on their community tab. And this is what it has to say. Earlier tonight, I uploaded a video apologizing for what I've done, but it's become clear after hearing from several people that I am not in a healthy frame of mind to be posting anything online. I only returned home from the hospital yesterday, so I should have never filmed it. No shit. I've deleted the video, but I'm sure it has been downloaded and will be shared by others online. You goddamn right. Okay, so it's been shared online. I promise to apologize properly and in detail when I'm more mentally stable. Until then, please know that I am sorry. Okay, now I also want to take a look at Nick's response. Apparently, Nick put out a response on December 6th. I don't remember if we took a look at that response or not, but they've done an updated response. We're going to take a look at both. We'll start with the December 6th one because I genuinely don't remember if I talked about that one or not. Let me zoom into it because it's kind of tiny. But I'll read what the December 6th one says first, and then we'll bump up to the updated one. So without further ado.
Thanks for the money, you fucking simp. Aaron Overpriabrzyensky donated $5 Canadian.
Thank you.
I am glad I left for part of it. I could not take the fake crying.
Thank you very much for that super chat. I do appreciate it. All right, let's start with the one from December 6th. I'm writing in response to the video essay Plagiarism in YouTube released earlier this week by Bomber Guy, exposing mass plagiarism throughout the James Somerton channel. The evidence of unethical conduct provided in the video is undeniable. These actions are acutely alarming to me, both professionally and personally. Due to the glaring disparity in our professional ethics, I have ended my ties with the James Somerton channel, as well as longtime association with James Somerton. I am also advocating that James offer a full and immediate refund to each of the Indiegogo donors who contributed to the Telos pictures. Plagiarism is personal in its violating effects. As a writer, it is one of my greatest fears. I'm in disbelief that a friend so close to James would have disregarded these fears. In light of these irrefutable actions, I am now deeply pained to have been associated with the James Somerton channel as a content contributor. I was shocked by the widespread nature of the plagiarism in James' videos. I cannot overstate how foolish I feel for trusting James' intentions and ethics were in line with my own. I have scrutinized my own contributions to the channel over the past few days, although I can say with confidence that my independent contributions were authentically my own. I cannot help but ask myself, how did I miss this? Transparency and integrity are essentially traits for authentic writing. This controversy has me falling short of that mark. I expect better of myself, and I will use this experience to strive for better accountability in all my future professional endeavors. This evidence exposed the vital truth for me and presented a stark reality for my future hopes as a writer, but it also provided the catalyst I needed to leave the channel and find more fulfilling work. I have learned a very heartbreaking lesson that will motivate me to be a better judge of character and a stronger advocate for authenticity. To all writers whose creative works have been stolen, and to the loyal and trusting supporters of the James Somerton channel, I am profoundly sorry for any part I have had in this shameful but unwitting breach of trust. I want to express my remorse for not taking a more active role to ensure the body of work was authentic and that the individual I was associated with was truthful. I am heartened to see that Kat and Harris have taken steps to generate exposure to the talented queer content creators whose hard work and creativity have was rendered invisible by plagiarism. In the link below, you will find a Google form that will allow you to recommend queer YouTubers who will be compiled into a playlist to give them the exposure they deserve. Thank you, Kat, for doing this. Sincerely, Nick Hergart. Now, see, James, that's how you issue an apology. That's how a proper apology is done. Now, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the update. This was released today, actually. I'd again like to express my sincere sympathy to the writers and creators who were harmed by the theft of their creative property and the supporters who rightfully feel betrayed. Let me be clear. I unequivocally condemn acts of plagiarism. The nature of my contributions to this YouTube channel were to editorialize and reflect upon a given piece of media. I can say with confidence that my independent contributions were authentically my own. However, I apologize for not taking a more active role to ensure the channel's body of work was authentic. In regards to the money raised to fund film projects through Telos Pictures, these generous donations were made in good faith. As such, I believe they should be returned immediately and in full to all donors. I have never had access to the Indiegogo account nor any of its funds. Therefore, I can only trust that the account holder will do the right thing from here. Finally, I would like to outline what you can expect from me next. 1, in the immediate future, I will be taking time off to reflect, process, and learn from this incident. Mental health and well-being are paramount, and I hope anyone who is suffering will seek out professional help. See, this is the thing, right? There's nothing wrong with mentioning how a situation like this has impacted your mental health. But notice that in this response, Nick did not open up his statement with comments on his mental health, right? This came later, right? So it wasn't used as a manipulation tool to bait sympathy, right? He's just like, hey, you know what? Honestly, this whole situation kind of got me a little mentally fucked up, so I'm going to take some time away to reflect. There's nothing wrong with that, and I respect that. 2, though my current employment remains uncertain, I am approaching this as an opportunity to invest in my personal writing projects. I'm looking forward to reigniting my passion for fiction writing and investing my creative energy into new projects. I'm excited to reconnect with the characters and stories from my first novel, Gentleman's Club, as well as continue to add my overall body of work. 3, I also hope that the opportunity to continue to foster the authentic connections I found within the queer community by creating a new space that explores, validates, and celebrates queer identity. It is my hope that my future contributions to queer art will help rekindle this sense of community. I will be posting updates about my works in progress via my website and social media channels in the coming months. Sincerely, Nick Hergard. So again, this is how a proper apology is done. This is how you do it. Whatever that bullshit was that James Somerton made us watch, that is not a proper apology. You still have a lot of learning to do before you even think about coming back as a content creator, if your audience will even allow you to do so. I am very, very sorry if this situation pushed you to the brink, to the point of, self-harm and stuff like that. Nobody should ever feel that, nobody should ever feel that lost, okay? But having said that, you have not taken accountability for your actions. You have done nothing but make excuses and try to throw other people under the bus for what you've done. And shame on you for that.